Hey everyone, and welcome to a Project Life page, something I haven't done for a long time. Now this one is full of memes and a couple of photos, and I'm using the printables from the June exclusives that we get in the Kitaholic Kits. If you're a subscriber, you get them each month, and I'm just using them to start with. I've just printed them on some paper, and I'm just layering here to show you how I decide. There's no real entire rhyme or reason to it. It's just what looks, the colours work together and whatnot. I'm going to start with this one here and just add a simple sticker and then a word to it. And, sometimes it doesn't have to be tricky at all. I was going to make it a bit more elaborate with that leaf, but instead push it off like it just didn't belong there at all. And I went with the word instead. So sometimes I like to, actually a lot of times, I like to screenshot memes or interesting things that I see on social media or messages and stuff like that, anything you've got to do with your phone. And I use them in my Project Life because they are documenting things and moments and funny things that you thought were funny or interesting and whatnot. So I have a lot of them in my Project Life, tend to, which is why sometimes I don't often film my Project Life, because I feel it might not be so interesting for you guys. But if you are interested, I have done a few this month, and let me know and I'll do some more. So I'm just going to use this frame here. I do stick some white cardstock in it so that it's covering that frame, and that way it stands out on top of that lovely pattern on that card. And now I'm just going to layer the photo on top because I could probably put it in the middle and it would center with a white border around it. But I thought it'd be nice to have it on a bit of an angle instead. So that is what happens, fighting with my double-sided tape. And sorry I'm out of screen a little. I'm trying to work out this new filming setup, and I've got a few videos that I've edited over this last few days, and I'm a bit frustrated with myself. Sometimes they're just out of corner. I purposely zoomed in for the Project Live here so that we could see it close up, because sometimes I zoom in the editing part and I find it's a bit more not as clear. It's not terrible, but it's not as clear as if you zoom in as you're filming. So that kind of worked but kind of didn't. Anyway, so I'm going to add a label there, just a little bit of journaling. It was a screenshot of a like a newspaper, online newspaper, news online, and it was a photo, and it looked like it's a student with a yellow shirt on with his head down, and it just looked like my son, and I was showing showing his dad, and we were like, yeah, it really looks like him. But then when you click on the news story and it showed, you can see the logo of the school better, and it wasn't their logo. So it obviously wasn't him at all. But anyway, that was funny. I just thought I'd keep it in because if you didn't know, if you just looked at it, it kind of really does look like him. So I'm just going to add this one here. I'm going to cut them so that it's underneath the photo here. It's a meme. Pretty funny. But I just like the way that this leaf then can contour to this oval shape. This is my Friday face. Hell yeah. It's hump day here when I'm filming this, so it would be nice if it was a Friday, or even better if it was Friday night. So I'm going to use my pen here, and I'm going to go around the edges. Now this is a really cool pen. This is one of those crown pens that Inky Quill had ages ago, and I got it from Daisy-O when I was in the Gold Coast for my holidays in April. We went to Daisy-O, and it just popped out of me. There was a 2-pack, and I was so excited. I got them home and realized one was a mechanical pen that didn't have any lead for it, so it just really wasn't worth it. Plus, I cannot stand mechanical pens, or paces as I used to call them as a kid, because I don't like the way it sounds as you're drawing or writing on paper. So that was a bit of a waste, a bit of a fail, but instead I'm so happy that I found this pen because it works. Anyway, just rambled over that whole top of that other card. Lucky there's not much to it. I'm just adding, so I've got the 4 little, I'm just using design A page protector. So I've got the 4x6s on the top and the bottom, 2 each top and 2 bottom, and then the 4 3x4s in the middle. So I'm just going to add a word to this one, and just a few little of those sprinkly elements. So some stickers and some hearts, really, is what I was going to say. And I am loving my tiny attacher. It's funny how my tiny attacher comes out a lot more in my project life than with my scrapbooking. Just one of those things. Now, this heart here is one of those geometric hearts that... So I make these printables, and I made this one, and it just was a bit light. You can see it, but I liked it. I wanted to have a bit of an outline. So I'm going to add just a little bit of embellishments trickling down the page. Started with this puffy butterfly, which I really love, and this puffy heart. Then I'm going to add this star here. So it's really nice because the Emerson Lane and the Wolfpack kit collections are in this kit. They go together so nicely. It's so crazy if you looked at them, you wouldn't necessarily think so. But Steph has done a wonderful job, and they go together so well. So it's so nice to have some hearts and some stars and some butterflies all together, even though it's a bit of a dark and gloomier kind of kit than all the bright and, shiny collections that are around. So I really liked the way all the layouts and these Project Live pages came together with this kit. It's just so pretty. So a photo here of my son at the endodontist, getting one of the last times he had to go after he fell off the bike and forgot to use his hands to brace his fall, instead used his mouth and his face and broke off half of his 2 front teeth, and then they fixed them, and then the nerves inside them decided to die, so then he had to get 2 root canals, the poor thing, on the 2 front ones. But he's such a trooper. He's so much better at the dentist even than, well, actually I say even than but I'm terrible at dentist. It's one of those terrible moments, or couple terrible moments as a kid, really, going to the dentist. But thankfully my boys have had some really not so terrible at all. They haven't had any cavities or anything like that. So other than this treatment, they've only had, the general cleaning and of the teeth, and some checkups with the orthodontist because they will need some braces. So, but if that's the worst they get, that'll be good. But unfortunately, Patrick had to endure this. But he was like one of the best patients. Even the dentist and like the few dentists in that office were saying it was amazing how he only cried when the needle went in, and otherwise he didn't even complain about having his mouth open for so long or anything. And I just struggle even for 10 minutes having my mouth open and having the dentist doing stuff. So it's pretty awesome to see how strong he is. So just written some journaling. I added this Project Life card here, so it was like a library card format. I just added that there and cut it down so it fit on the page. Sorry you can't see it too well. But then I added a sticker down the bottom, and then the journaling with a sticker, word sticker, and a acetate arrow up the top. So this is a little photo. We get these little, there's an app for school, and they have little updates every now and then. The teacher last year used it more than the teacher this year, but he's in year 5, so it's probably not as, meaningless kind of little happy event things that go on. That's more about doing work in that kind of year, isn't it? But anyway, I took this little screenshot of the photo, and it's him and he's doing some schoolwork. I'm just going to put that on there. I do add a little bit of journaling just because otherwise I'm not going to really know what that photo is from. And that's not really too much to it. And once again, I used a 3x4 Project Life card as a layering piece. It's got all the alphabet repeated repetitively on there. And just to give a little bit of interest, add a doodly border with a thick pen. And that's going to be that card. So I'm going to show you, I put them all in. I don't show you putting them in because that would be a bit boring. But I will show you the close-up of each card. So thank you for joining me today, and I will see you in next video. Bye guys.